Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric and today I watched Doom Patrol episode 1. I'm also going to talk about all of the comics I picked up this week. Although some of them I'm not sure if they were actually from last week, but I'll go through all of them anyway. I know one of them for sure is from last week and I already talked about it, but I got the variant covers and they're pretty awesome. Both of them are awesome. But anyway, let's first talk about Doom Patrol. This is over on DC Universe or on Netflix in areas outside of the United States. I don't know if it's in all areas outside of the United States. Maybe. But oh man, I like this show a lot so far. At first, when it first started out, I looked at the runtime. And the reason I did that is because Umbrella Academy is like a solid hour per episode, or at least the first 2 episodes. I started watching that also. I'm not going to talk about that show yet. I want to do an entire an episode about the entire first season since it's all out already. It's over on Netflix. But Doom Patrol, I looked, it was like 59 minutes or something like that, close to an hour for this first episode. And I was kind of worried. I was kind of worried about that for Umbrella Academy as well. Like these quote unquote hour long shows, being an actual hour sometimes makes it tough to watch. I much prefer like the solid half hour, just over a half hour that some shows have. Like on Showtime, a ton of shows on Showtime are that half hour, like House of Lies, Weeds. I think Shameless is all. No, Shameless is a full hour. But House of Lies and Weeds, those are the main ones. That I think really nailed that full half hour. That Netflix sometimes does, Hulu sometimes does, but more often than not, they go for the full hour, the full premium cable hour. And it's a little bit drawn out sometimes. But in this case, at least in this first episode, they packed a whole lot in here. And we get the origins of the entire team, and it's all really well done. I am into it. I'm into it a lot. We got Brendan Fraser playing. I don't know all the characters' names. I don't know their original names. So Brendan Fraser plays the guy who becomes Robot Man, and he does the voice of Robot Man. And then we have Matt Bomer playing Negative Man, doing the voice of Negative Man. Now, at first I thought, oh, that's weird that the 2 most recognizable people on this show, they're you don't ever see their faces in the regular timeline. And then I realized that makes a lot of sense. You're not going to have the 2 most famous people get into those get-ups all the time. It makes a lot more sense to have lesser-known actors be the bodies, and then you're going to have to re-record the voices anyway. And so have them played by really well-known people. We do see them on screen in the flashbacks, like their origin stories and stuff. So they still do appear quite a bit. We also have Timothy Dalton as the father figure who brought together all these weird people. And we also have Elastigirl and Crazy Jane. And I think it's just those 4 to start with. Yeah. They get into kind of they're not like going out and saving anybody yet. This is like how they get together and realize that they can work together to do stuff. And I don't want to spoil all the stuff that happens this episode. There's lots of fun stuff, and there's also some oh damn type of stuff. Especially as far as Robot Man is concerned. So I'm looking forward to watching this one. And it looks like there's a whole 15 episodes in this first season, at least from the list that's on the DC Universe app. That might be inaccurate. Maybe they'll change that up at some point. I'm also interested to see how it ties, if it ties into Titans throughout this season and into next season of Titans, because we have that one episode where Gar was in with all these guys, but it looks like that right now we're before time wise. Oh, actually, I'm not sure. We might be after Gar's when he was in there. I guess we'll see, because we're told this is in 2019, and I don't think that Titans takes place in 2018 yet. So I don't know if they paid that much attention to the timelines matching up. Like, it's that important. Like, it's anyway. I'm looking forward to more, and I'd say the only stuff that stuck out to me was the special effects for Elastigirl, but for a TV show, I thought it worked just fine. You get the point of what's going on with it. There's a thing that happened, like, it's not all the Elastigirl stuff. There's a specific Elastigirl thing that happens in this episode, but it's a TV show. They don't have like $100 million to send stuff out to Industrial Light and Magic to have the top-notch special effects that take hundreds of rendering hours, thousands of rendering hours, that type of stuff. So I don't mind it at all. It's just the only thing that's like, there's so much stuff that's like really, really good. That's the main reason the one thing like kind of stands out in that regard. Oh, also we have Mr. Nobody, played by Alan Tudyk, and he's narrating the whole thing, and I'm pretty excited for stuff to get real. It already gets real in this episode, but stuff to really get real in the upcoming episodes. This is all just getting us to know these characters, and next we're going to see Mr. Nobody like really screw some stuff up. I was almost swearing there. Okay, so go check it out. I think it's awesome. Although it's never going to be it's never going to live up to the awesomeness of Doom Patrol Go in, what was it, episodes 11 or 12 of Young Justice season 3. Oh man, that was really good. That was my favorite thing of all the DC stuff this year so far. But okay, so let's talk about all the comics I picked up. There's a bunch of them. I literally just got home from the comic book shop, so I have not read any of these. But just some quick thoughts on all of them, especially if they're books that I am caught up on. Okay, so first, Archie number 702. I started subscribing with number 700, I think it was, where everything got restarted. Kind of, it was like it was a sort of a reboot, but it started with them coming back from like summer vacation. All kinds of stuff is different, and spoilers: Archie and Sabrina are a couple, and they're keeping it secret from everybody. But the cover of this issue is not keeping it secret from us, the readers, because it features them both there on the front cover. I forget what else is going on with Betty and Veronica. I'm getting it mixed up with their individual series. I can't remember exactly what they're doing in this, because what I was thinking of is actually what's going on in their own book, with the whole applying for college and stuff. WWE number 25. These two other variant covers are awesome. The one has Samoa Joe with AJ Styles set up for the Muscle Buster. It's kind of if you're not familiar with these guys, it's kind of a weird cover, But if you are familiar with these guys, then it is friggin' awesome. Because he's teased that move so many times. Maybe we'll see it tomorrow at the Elimination Chamber. Wouldn't that be pretty cool? Especially if he hits it on AJ. Because they're both in that match. Well, we'll see if one or the other is eliminated by the time the other one is in there. The other cover is Shinsuke Nakamura. Has him facing away from a camera with the Japanese flag in the background, taking up the entire background of the cover, and then the ropes of the ring. That's a pretty slick cover. I don't know if that ties into anything else. No, it doesn't look like it tiles with other covers or anything like that. So those are pretty cool. They did have at the WWE Superstore. I almost picked these up, but then I realized, I already have all of these comics individually. I don't need to get these like full price. I just have to get them back home. They had Volume 1 and Volume 2, the trade paperbacks. So that was kind of cool. All right. Amazing Spider-Man number 15, or Legacy number 816. Looking forward to that. I can't remember what's going on with everything in... I'm not sure if I'm caught up on Amazing Spider-Man, actually. But coming out of Spider-Geddon, all of the Spider-Man books have been really fun. The Batman Who Laughs, issue number 3. This series has been awesome so far. I still need to go back and read all of Dark Knight's Metal. Is that what that's what it's called? Yes. So the origins of the Batman Who Laughs and all of that. Coming up is the Batman Who Laughs Grim Knight. So that spins out of this comic, and Grim Knight is pretty badass. Captain Marvel number 2. Getting ready for Captain Marvel the movie. I'm excited for that, and I liked issue number 1 of Captain Marvel, so I'm looking forward to reading that. Dead Man Logan, issue number 4. It's a 12 issue series, and we've got the return of Logan. He's trying to figure out what's going on. He's from a different timeline, and so things are disorienting for him. The cover art, I can't remember exactly what happened in issue number 3. I'm pretty sure that I'm caught up on this before this issue, but the cover art, we see him in like a tank hooked up to all kinds of tubes and stuff. So I'm sure we'll get some insight into what's going on with that. The Dreaming number 6, I am not caught up on that, so I can't speak on it very well. I think I am caught up on Lucifer though. But Lucifer has been pretty cool. But it's a very these Sandman comics are so different from all the other stuff that I read that I have to be like kind of in the right mindset for it to take it on. The Price of Innocence Part 2. Oh, this is not, it's different. It's the price, but then the rest of the sentence is different in each of these issues, I guess. Because the first part 1, which was last week with Batman, I think it was The Price of Justice. But anyway, this is the tie-in with Heroes in Crisis, and I am really looking forward to that. This cover looks pretty intense. We have the Flash and Batman just in a they're beat up like hell on the cover here with I think it's Gotham Girl, the shadow of Gotham Girl hanging over them. So that's pretty cool. I'm that might be the first one that I read out of this bunch. Go-Go Power Rangers number 17. I am not caught up on that at all, but I do like the cover. We have Rita on the front looking in her orb. at the whole team of Power Rangers. Justice League Dark number 8. I'm working on getting caught up on these because I think I call this something completely different. It's the Witching Hour, the tie-in with Wonder Woman. I'm like halfway through that, and then I'll I'm like 5 issues behind of getting caught up on Justice League Dark. But it's cool stuff because it's all like the magic characters in this series, and I like that a lot. Then we have Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider number 5, Legacy number 45. Like I said, the Spider-Man, all the Spider books have been awesome coming out of Spider-Geddon. The only 2 that I'm subscribed to are Spider-Gwen and Amazing Spider-Man. But there are a bunch. There's the Miles Morales Spider-Man. I'm also subscribed to Superior Spider-Man coming out of that. There's the Miles Morales Spider-Man, I think, and Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man, or whatever that one's called. So I'm not subscribed to all of them because I'm already subscribed to like so many DC books that to add too many Spider-Man books would be maybe too much. Supergirl number 27. I am not caught up on this series at all, but I like this cover a lot. It's not as like a lot of the variant. I get the variant covers for most of the DC books because they're all awesome. But this one it's awesome, but it's more like a comic book and less like the watercolor portrait type of things that haven't, or maybe not even watercolor. Some of them look like oil paintings and stuff like that. But it's still a really good cover, and I have no idea what's going on in the story at this point. I'm like 10 issues behind on that one. Superman number 8. I think this oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. We got this cover by Liefeld. Yeah, I'm not he looks a little bit too mean. A little bit too mean. And a little bit yeah, I don't know about that variant cover. But I have been liking Superman recently. With all this stuff. Oh, I can't remember exactly what's going on right now. There's all the drama with him having been gone and coming back, and Lois Lane going into hiding, things like that. And there's the extra drama of Lex Luthor trying to hook up. I don't know if he's trying to hook up with her, but being in contact with her and all that. The tabloids going crazy about it. So yeah, I do like Superman currently. I should have been getting Detective Comics the last few issues. We are super close to Detective Comics number 1000, and that also includes the commemorative hardback retrospective book, whatever it is, for Detective Comics number 1000. And that reminds me, I need to read. It's a hefty book. Action Comics 1000 also had a hardcover like that. For those wondering who haven't heard about this hardcover book, it does not have the actual issue number 1000 in it. It's like a coffee table book type of thing. Well, as far as coffee table, it's significant. It's has a lot of content in there, but it does not have the comic number 1000 itself, which you'll have to get separately, and I will be getting those separately. Tons of variant covers, like one for each decade, like they did for Action Comics, which is pretty awesome. And there's also a midnight release variant that I believe all of it is on final order cutoff this coming Monday. So contact your local comic book shop about getting that if you want to make sure you get a specific cover of it. Okay, then we have Uncanny X-Men number 11, Legacy 630. I don't think I'm caught up. I think I'm a couple issues behind on this one. So I'm not sure what's going on. Looks like Xavier Institute has been destroyed or something. And like the ghosts of everybody on the horizon. I don't know what's going on there. Wonder Twins number 1. I'm excited for this. These Wonder comics so far. Naomi was awesome. Naomi is awesome. Young Justice also really good. But Naomi is my favorite so far out of the two. I guess it's not that hard to be the best out of two. Wonder Twins, I'm looking forward to see what's going on with them. And finally, I don't know a whole lot about this. It's continuing the story of the Source Wall, and I guess for Free Comic Book Day, I'm told it's going to be centered on all kinds of villains, and so we get the debut of a villain in this issue. From what I understand, it's Justice League Annual number 1, Slaves of the Source Wall. We have lasers coming out of Batman's eyes. What's going on with that? And we've got what's going on with this cover? What is going on? I have to see what's going on inside of this book. Because we got Batman with laser eyes, Superman with laser eyes, and Green Lantern using a lasso, whereas Wonder Woman is not using a lasso. I don't know. I'm confused there. So that's it for everything. All the comics I picked up this week. Remember, Doom Patrol, check it out. Sometime soon, when I finish watching it, I'll do an episode just about Umbrella Academy. The first 2 episodes that I've watched, I'm way into it. By the second episode, I was way into it. The first episode, I took a little bit of warming up to, but now I'm super interested in seeing what happens with all these guys. I'm past where I've read in the comic. I have not read very much of the comic, but I remember some of the stuff in this setup from the comic. And now it's beyond anything that I am familiar with now, because I think I maybe read 1 issue or like an issue and a half or something like that on Comixology. But yeah, stay tuned. I'll be talking about that, and you know what? I'll probably try to read more of the comic, or at least like the first volume. How many volumes are there? I'm not sure. So I can kind of compare and be more familiar with these characters and see like, oh, how good of a job are they doing that with that? I was looking forward to never mind. I'll talk about it in the actual episode, especially since any characters I'm not digging so much, I might be digging a lot by the end of this first season. So that is it for now. Stay tuned next week for more comics, for more Doom Patrol, and most likely another episode, the episode of Umbrella Academy. I'm headed out to Houston just for like 20 hours, and 6 of those hours approximately will be in the arena, Toyota Center, for the Elimination Chamber. I am super excited for that. I will have an episode all about it on Monday, probably, because I'll be traveling and or sleeping, trying to get back home Monday morning. So stay tuned for all of that. Let me know what you thought about Doom Patrol and what comics you're reading this week by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you like to listen to podcasts. And I'll be back real soon with the next episode of TIW Podcast. Thanks for listening. Bye.